Grand Arena Season 25 is over. Or maybe 26, I don't know who's keeping count. But yeah, let's see how I got on. Hello there everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. So, it's been an interesting week on JJ's Productions accounts. Let's start off with Tammin. I'm going to say Tammin's the main account. We always start with Tammin in these situations, and we went 2-1 this week, so that's 9-3 for the season. I'm actually quite happy with that. I think if you were to expect 8-4 as like an average, 2-1 each week, then 9-3 I was above, so I'm quite happy with that. I think I started in Kyber 4 and ended up in Kyber 3, so that's another positive. I was kind of thinking I might end up in Kyber 2 how I ended, but how Crimson went on in Kyber 2, I'm kind of glad I didn't. But yeah, let's just review this final week. Let's just see how we got on. So this first round, Ren's guns, defense-wise, this guy didn't actually do much. He used his Sith Eternal Emperor against my my CLS team. Used Darth Revan against my General Grievous, which was massive overkill considering the gear levels on my Grievous. And he used Traya Invader against my Bugs. Okay, so he didn't do much. It's a bit hard to gauge what his thoughts on GAR based on that. He just did a bit. But yeah, from offense, there was one or two things that caught my eye. So first of all, we got Aura here. We've got Aura Bounty Hunters versus Padme. Now, on paper, this looks bad. 344, we had a loss. But I feel like the story's a little bit more different. So we're going to just put this on the screen. So, as you can see, we're going to start the battle. And it wasn't that bad to begin with. You've got the Omicron kicking in, and it's not that bad a match to begin with. You can just go for GK, you can get your contract nice and easy. But this is the bit where things went wrong. Now, I obviously had another turn. I got Zam Omicron, so she's going fast. We've still got more turns with Boss, so we've got to burn them. This is the key one, disintegrate. Now, in my head, I'm thinking we've got a load of speed on our side. So if I go for Anakin first, that avoids the AoE. We're not going to lose Aura, because she's not Ralix or anything. She's only gear 10, 7-star. So I thought, let's try and protect Aura, try and get as many banners as we can. So I decided to go for Anakin. And that was a concern because, yes, it meant that the damage dealer was gone. But the trouble is there was still a load of survivability in the team. And as we're going to see, Kenobi is very annoying when it comes to the Mandalorian getting disintegrate back due to all the critical hit immunity. Now, adding to that, we've also got a very annoying combination here of R2-D2 and C-3PO, which I'll be frank, I haven't really seen a lot of before in a Padme team, but it does work quite well, to be fair. Yeah, just very annoying because obviously you've got the critical hit immunity from Kenobi, you've got the stealth from R2, so it kind of forces your hand to go for certain targets, not to mention you've got a load of confusion coming your way so that Bosk is looking more and more frail. And yeah, it really was desperate. I wish I could say that this was the ideal outcome, but it was far from it. So yeah, if I had this match again, which is very unlikely because I don't think I've seen many people put R2 and 3PO in a Padme team, but supposing I did have this choice again, I would take out Padme first. Yes, I would take the AoE. Yes, I would most likely lose Aura just for the fact that I'll be losing someone probably from that AoE. But what I'd be thinking to myself is, yes, I'm losing one toon, but also I'll be able to kill them a lot easier. So, yeah, a load of regret from this, because as you can see, we've been... I didn't even notice what time we took Anakin out, but we've still stuck on Kenobi. So, yeah, I feel like this has got potential to be a very clean counter, especially if I got Aura to higher gear levels. But right now, it's just not. I mean, as you can see, Boss goes, and then it all goes to hell in a handbasket. So, yeah. I mean, I tried to keep Mandalorian in the game, but as you can see, we've only just coming round to our second contract, well, our second disintegrate. And I may be wrong, but I think we actually did lose the Mandalorian before then. I'm pretty sure we lose Aura and Zam very quickly. Let's just see. Aura's gone now. So yeah, we get the disintegrate. We can use that on Kenobi because we haven't really got a choice at this point. So it's better to get him out than to not. But the trouble is we just haven't got enough turns. There's no protection in this team. The only thing that'll keep us alive is Grief. So yeah, even if I had a Relic 7 Grief and Mando, they just couldn't survive the attacks from these 3 remaining. So yeah, very rough ending this one. I mean, it was a pretty clean cleanup, I will add that. If we just skip ahead a little bit, sorry about the keyboard if it clangs. But yeah, we took in Emperor Palpatine and Mara. That was more than enough, despite 3PO being there. So yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was annoying more than anything. So we got through it. Let's pause that there a second. Now, one thing we also did in this, which I'm just going to skip forward to, is we did face a Finalizer on Crimson, so I'm just going to skip to the time spot on there just so that we can show it later. Here we go. Let's just go there. Because it was an interesting week. I will say that it was a very interesting week on this account. So let's just back out of that a second. There we go. So go back to time minimum. As you can see, we got through the Padme comfortably. We even tried out Akbar Army on offense, which was quite fun. A little bit disappointed Lando went there. I remember that match, and I was thinking, it's a shame Lando bit a bullet. I think it was Boba just got a nuke off. But yeah, these things happen. But in general, I really like that team. I think I did try something different a few times as well. I tried R2 in there on defense. Well, definitely on defense. I can't remember if I tried him on offense, but there's some fun to be had there. It's just making sure how to find it. So yeah, the rest of that round was pretty comfortable. In fact, the next round was very comfortable as well. That was Ren Guns we just faced. Rodmig was the next opponent. And yeah, I didn't drop a battle. It was a very comfortable round. Rodmig, if I recall correctly, he set a fairly soft defense. He attacked twice. He did CLS versus Gas and then Gas versus CLS, which, I'll be honest, I found a little bit peculiar. I mean, you obviously know that CLS counters Gas, so did you really want to try the counter? I mean, I know it can work, but honestly, even with Relic 8, I'd have thought that'd be a bit of a risk. So, yeah, I can only assume that's what he thought. I've messed up. He didn't drop a battle. I'm screwed. So, yeah, sorry, Rodmig. And then final round, we're up against AZN Doogie. And this went wrong pretty much from the off. First 2 battles. Yeah, so we faced Qui-Gon Jinn Omi, and I will give this guy credit, he got very good mods on his side. The Shaq was 291, I think, plus Cam and Qui-Gon, that took Shaq up to about 359, or something like that. My Vader was just a 10 speed faster, so I did have that advantage. But the downside was I just couldn't get around Mace. Mace Windu and a Qui-Gon Jinn team will be very annoying, it seems, so we're going to have to keep an eye out for that in general. I know I'm doing that myself on Crimson as well, so again, something to keep in mind. But yeah, once I realised I dropped a battle there, I thought, okay, I need to see if I can do this snipe. So I'm going to actually bring this up. I think we bought it here. Did I, or... No, I think that might be the Finalizer again. I had 2 Finalizer versus Executor rounds this week. Yep, so first turn, Kenobi will always take the first turn. Now, Endel and a lot of other streamers have covered the snipe method a lot more, but just for those of you who haven't heard about it, it's the idea that with Zam Omicron, the idea is that if you can take enough turns to trigger Mandalorian's contract, you can get rid of Cat just with Disintegrate, and then the rest of the team just dies. But it's the idea you can get Cat out and then you can bring in a cleanup like the 501st. So that was what I was trying to do here, just see if I could get Cat out. So I got my taunt, we did the first mass assist. The trouble is, Cat took a force leak. Now, I want to just check the turn meter on this because that was what confused me live. So, let's just do that. So, I got Frenzy. Am I not allowed bonus turn meter? Yeah, I didn't gain any turn meter. So, I'm going to have to check that out. Maybe it's a case that I have to make sure I've cycled enough turns to get round to boss before Cat takes a turn. I'm going to have to look that up just to be certain, but that, if Frenzy should have worked, that was bugged. But if Frenzy doesn't work, which I'm assuming it doesn't, then yeah, Cat was going to get me all the time. So from then, you're a bit stuck because you haven't got the second mass assist and you can't trigger the contract quickly. So yeah, a little bit of a bummer there. But yeah, let's just move back. Let's just get that Executor match on because that was the one that I was curious about. So let's just get that in frame. again, I've put 2 of these on just for the simple reason, 2 different star levels. So yeah, as far as Tamming goes, it was a bit of a disappointing round. I mean, I goofed around a bit after. We did actually have a fun match to finish off with Wedge and Biggs taking on Crew. But yeah, there were a few mishaps. I mean, I'll be honest, at that point, I wouldn't say I'd given up, but I was pretty much there. To be honest, I'd have probably been better. Yeah, you've got Wampa and Farm Boy loot there. Once you know I'm doing stuff like that, chances are I've given in a bit. So it's not nice to see in the history, I'll be honest. So yeah, Tevins week 2 and 1. I'm happy overall. It's just, yeah, this guy just changed his defense on me, and once that happens, you haven't really got a chance. The guy usually doesn't set a GL, or at least the GL he does set I could beat. That's the way I remember it. He set JMK this time. I put JML down, and yeah, he actually did JKR lead against my JML, which I found a little bit. It wasn't nice. Let's say that. I would have thought my JML lead is always better against mine, but I can only assume he didn't think he could outspeed me, so he had to get the extra speed from JKR lead. Yeah, either way, not particularly great. So let's close down. Oh, hang on, there were a few funny ones here as well. He tried GG against Padme. Okay. He lost with Ray against my Watt team. He got Scarif Rebel Pathfinder out, which, you know, I thought, okay, Scarif, you did your job there. He lost with Nest versus Ewoks, no Omicron, so I was pleased with that. My Ewoks are causing mischief. Yeah, 1 per Omicron there, cleaning up GG. That was it, yeah. So a bit of a disappointment there. I shouldn't have put GG down, but to be honest, I was running out of teams to put down. Yeah, so there wasn't a lot else, to be fair. The rest of it was pretty self-explanatory. So, yeah, he didn't take on my exec. He didn't need to in the end, so... Oh, well. Anyway, let's just go back to round 1 first of all. I showed this live on streams, but I'm not going to repeat it here because we've got a set run time, I'd say. But SLKR GG Droids, well, SLKR Separatists can beat JMK if the speeds are low. So... yeah, I found this quite a slow JMK team, so we're able to get around it using this comp. I think if you wanted to try it at high levels, you would need higher speeds on most of your characters. So one thing to consider if that's the only viable option for you, but if not, I wouldn't do it. Okay, Imperial Troopers mirror match, simply put, I was faster, so I took him in. But yeah, after that, CLS can beat Bad Batch at low gears, that's nice to see. We used Iden on offense for a change, took her in against Phoenix. Ewoks doing stuff against Geos, nice to see again. A little bit disappointing how this match turned out. I'm pretty sure I was doing all right in it, and then it just went to hell very quickly, and Scion just rescued me. So I might have to rewatch that one, but I think it did go okay to begin with, and it just went bad. But I might be misremembering, and Scion just got an AoE to win it just at the clutch. So yeah, I can't remember that one offhand, but yeah, Scion at Relic has done me some work just because Treya keeps dying. Yeah, so the rest of this pretty self-explanatory. We were stuck at the end, so I had to use Gideon lead with some Geos and Armourer. Similarly, we got Newt Gunray with Poggle and BB. Not the greatest team, but we have beat Exec with Finalizer twice. So first one I'm going to show is the 6-star win we had. Yep, there's me just guzzling my drink. But yeah, I find it so strange this, because I've done this matchup in Fleet Arena so many times in the past week or so since I've got my echelon to 5-star, and I just don't find it reliable. I mean, I even tried this on stream before in Fleet Arena before doing the battle, and I just don't find it a reliable counter, but it did work. I mean, I'd actually say watching it back I misplayed a bit, because you might as well go for Razor Crest rather than a Hound's Tooth, but it works, so I'm not complaining. The whole idea is you just wait until Xanadu's out of stealth and then just get rid of it. It's as simple as that. You know, you just keep feeding the third ability from Command Shuttle onto itself, grants turn meter to the team. So yeah, I'm going to say it isn't a hard counter, it's just that it's very RNG dependent. You need the echelon ideally to survive, at least survive a little bit. I think you can get away if it dies reasonably early, but you can't have it die straight away. So I'm not going to show the rest here. Once Xanadu Blood's out, it's not the worst fight. Now I'm going to just show you the later one from round 3. So this is this one. So let's just bring that up here. So yeah, again, you put Hunted on Houndstooth, and as you can see, I did change my tactic here. I went for Razor Crest. Now, Executor goes first, and I was quite lucky that RNG favoured me. It didn't wipe out TIE Echelon straight away, so we were able to get some health and protection back. The downside is it can go pretty quickly. I think it did get Echelon out at this point, but we managed to get through it. So we have to put ability block on Houndstooth just so it won't taunt. Yeah, we get to Xanadu out. At that point, I'm happy. I think if we get a 2-shot where I can bring in Malevolence, I'm happy. So yeah, for me, it's a case of, yeah, we're just going to focus on Razor Crest. We're going to just pop as many critical hits on as we can. Yeah, keep feeding Command Shuttle the 3rd special. That way it'll just keep feeding to me to the team. Basics, just if we can get stuns or anything like that, that's a bonus. That 2nd special will grant Turmy to the team just based on the fact it's providing dots to your team, which also feeds speed to crew and I believe Turmy to the Command Shuttle. So don't neglect the AoE. But yeah, from there it's again pretty straightforward. Once you've got Xanadu Blood out, it's not the worst battle. I mean, things can always go wrong in any Executor battle. The RNG is always against you. That's how I view it. I mean, I think we just managed to get through this by the skin of our teeth. I mean, if I just fast forward a little bit again, yeah, when Slave 1 comes in, it's always a problem because you think you could do with having it that you can bring in your Ebon Orc at this point. But yeah, it's not ideal when it's in and then it's got taunt and you've got to take a few turns hitting it, especially if you don't want to hit the contract. So yeah, there's so many things that aren't favourable in these matchups, but in that situation we got through it okay. I mean, Ebon Orc bit a bullet, but I'd rather that go than something else. Oddly enough, I did leave Razor Crest for quite a while. It only applies Breach on special, so it didn't feel like it was going to trigger a contract fast. IG's got Breach on the special, but again, it's a special, it's not going to trigger it all the time. So it felt like we could at least stall a little bit to get the contract. But as you can see, Command Shuttle was getting close. It wasn't at its strongest, but we got through it. I do love the reaction there, because that's how I feel every time I beat an Executor. Even mirror matches I'm like that, because it's the worst fleet I've ever seen. Alright. Enough ranting about Executors. So yeah, that was round 1. Round 2, I've got to praise Roy and Coolwater here. I said this at the time, his mod game was so impressive. Now, on here, I do believe I saved the Ewok battle. Let me just double check it. Here we go. The Ewok battle is one that disappointed me a little bit from my own performance. So when we do Ewok battles, there's a specific turn order that we use all the time. So we use the special down here, the 2nd special, pass it to low grey to give him turn meter. Now, this is where I misplayed. I did days. Shouldn't have done days. I should have put foresight up. It still wouldn't have prevented Revan doing his stuff, but it would have prevented debuffs going onto their side. The more debuffs they get, the faster they get. So yeah, immediately I'm giving them speed. So bad move. I think I probably still would have struggled at this point. Even though I managed to get Sith Empire Trooper out, I just wasn't able to get enough turn meter on my side to really make a dent in them at this point. So yeah, it was rough. Really what I should have done there, if I just rewind a little bit, we got the special there. Did I target 3PO? Yeah, I really should put that on Chirper. If I'd put it on Chirper, they would have had to go for one of the other Ewoks. It would have meant Chirper would still be feared, but the other 3 characters would have been available. So that might have helped a little bit, but saying that Bastila was going, she'd have got fear as well. So yeah, it's a lot of hindsight here. Yeah, as soon as that happened, the Ewoks were dead. I mean, I hadn't got Alder in here, so there was no revives anyway. But yeah, I thought at this point, can I at least just try and get someone out, just so that it's not as bad at cleaning up? But yeah, just very little hope in this battle. Especially when Wicket went, it was like, yeah, the damage dealer's gone. So I'm a little disappointed in that. I do think there might be potential for something with Ewoks against Darth Revan. But I think you're going to have to, one, have a slow speed Darth Revan. Maybe one that's been modded more for offense to try and catch people out. But also, I mean, with respect to Roy in here, he hasn't got relics in this team, so there wasn't a lot of damage. So it was just very well clocked for speed. I can't remember the actual speed on the Darth Revan, but it was pretty quick. Did I actually show it beforehand? Because I was showing off this guy's mods. Yeah, No, I don't think I've shown it on screen. At least I can't see it on this thumbnail. But yeah, it got some very good speeds on these tunes. I've got no bones over losing to this guy. Let me just see. Characters. And where's your DR? 339. 339 at gear 12. So how I view that, it would go up to 341 when he applies the gear pieces, because he did explain to me he's holding back gear pieces to try and catch people out a little bit. I'm not sure I personally agree with that idea, but I respect it. You know, if it's working for you, as it obviously did here, then yeah, there's an argument people will get caught out by it. But yeah, 341, it's a solid DR speed when you go to 13 at least. 339 at 12 was brilliant. So yeah, I think that would work against slower DRs because I'd still be able to take more turns. But yeah, when 339 and he's about to go, it's like, let's not try that. And yeah, it went downhill from here, if we're going to be honest. I lost a lot of battles. We timed out on a nest. It didn't help I put Stark in there. It was removing TM every couple of turns. I was annoyed at this one. I took Qui-Gon Omicron against this Dash team. Now, I knew that he got the Omicron. And I remember thinking to myself, yeah, the AoE will probably cause a revive, but it should have got Vandor out. And Vandor didn't go. I think he evaded. Can I fast forward to this? Here we go. So yeah, the get is pretty quick here. I mean, to be honest, I have modded my Qui-Gon to be very fragile. So he's got a load of offense, but he's very, very fragile. So I was kind of worried when they weren't targeting him, but you look okay. I know I've got my buffs all collated together. I've got they're all grouped up like that. But I'm looking and thinking, surely the AoE should get Vandor. Let me just watch this again. Look at that, he didn't go. So you're looking there and thinking, come on, surely he should be going. Let me just watch it again. I'm going to just see if I can. Did he actually get targeted? It's hard to tell with an AoE. It didn't even look like he got damaged. So from there, I'm counting that as unlucky because obviously the other three will revive. So yeah, I can't really say I was happy there. I'm thinking, come on, you know, if Vandor goes but the other four revive back, it's like, okay, fair enough, that's how it's meant to be. But yeah, I just didn't like that. I think that was just a dodge or a low damage on him or something. It's a hard one to take, that one. I think we could have got a one battle win there. Instead, we had to come in with cleanup. So yeah, let me close these down. I think we're done with the video highlights there. But yeah, there wasn't much else here that really needed to be shown. I'm not happy about Crimson's week, to be honest. In fact, if I just bring this up temporarily, let me grab this. So yeah, yesterday I made sure I recorded this just so that anyone who wanted to see it could see it. But yeah, just turn the volume down just so that there isn't Star Wars music. We got 0 and 3 for GA. So even though my JMK was gear 11 at the time and close to Relics, I did put my Relic on Paplu. So in the space of a week, he's gone from Relic 3 to Relic 6. Yeah. I really hope I don't have to take him any higher, honestly. Please let me win the first round of next Kyber 3. Because that was painful. That was painful. So, yeah. That's how it is. Alright, final one, JJ. Yeah, JJ had a pretty bog standard week. A few interesting turn-ups though. We did lose a battle there with Iden Omicron. I really needed to target Zombie a lot faster. I was trying to get a Sarge under control and I forgot that Zombie was paper thin and would die off, so a little bit frustrating there. I could have probably helped myself a bit with that. I don't think I would have won still, but it would have been cleaner at least. As far as defense here, we got a Hull with gas, so that one is the round there. Round 2, what we got here, hold on fleet. Sorry, we lost on fleet, not hold on fleet. The guy did put 2 good fleets down. Or the woman, I can't really tell from that name. Yeah, they got through me pretty comfortably. Tripped a few times on my Night Sisters, ended up having to take Rayan instead of these weird mishmash teams they were trying. But yeah, the rest of it was pretty bog standard. And then round 3, David. Again, fairly standard on offense. We did struggle with DR, they hit it at the back. I managed to get through to eventually after taking in 3 or 4 teams. 4 teams, yeah. Meant we were a bit short on the front wall, but David here couldn't really match us. Tripped on bounty hunters twice, using some relatively strange comps. I mean, I wouldn't take Old Republican against bounty hunters myself. But yeah, then you got Shaq against Night Sisters failing, although it's not a Shaq clone team, it's more Shaq, 2 Jedi and 2 clones. Crew beat my Dash, JKR beat my Era, although why they took JKR in there when, even though you probably wouldn't win, it'd probably be better to try it against my Padme, I don't know. Did they beat Padme? Let me just scroll up and check. No, they didn't go for Padme. So yeah, Padme against Gas was never going to happen with that lot. Grievous with Treya, again, I've never known that one to work. So yeah, Gas against GG. Fair enough, that's an easy enough clean-up, but I think I set a tough defense for him, so I'm happy at that. I made sure I gave him problems. But yeah, pretty bog standard week for JJ. So yeah, final thoughts. Let's bring this screen on just so I can explain. Alright, so for a while now, I've been doing essentially highlight videos that aren't highlights as much as the blocks of stream that I've just cut up. So the plan is at least for a trial run next season, I'm going to see if I can essentially do voiceovers for the streams. So if anyone's seen Zareth, I'm going to try and essentially imitate his style a little bit, as far as I'll be taking footage from streams and then trying to just put my own current voiceover on top of them. So we'll see how that goes. I'll see if I've got the time to do it, because it could mean there might be a few delays on actually uploading, but we'll get them done. I want to see if I can do this, because I want to try and make sure that the GA content I'm uploading to YouTube is actually something that people want to watch. And I recognise, say, a 2-hour stream that's maybe got loads of chit chat in it is not something people want to watch. So yeah, we'll do our best there. We'll see what we can do. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the recaps anyway. It might mean that we don't do them next season just because you don't need them. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little experiment I've been doing for 4 weeks. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now, everyone.